going back to coaching at FHS, can you tell us how Title IX affected Foothill students?
How Title IX affected Foothill students. Well, needless to say, it's been one of the best things for our female population that's ever come along. It strained the use of facilities to a large extent, especially here at Foothill, where we only have one gym. And I'm relating this maybe in track and cross country, it was really not much of a problem. There's a lot of space. When it first, I'll say, okay, let me address cross country first. When it first started in cross country, I coached both teams, and I didn't get a lot of girls out. So I told our athletic director, you might should get another coach, and then that way he could devote more time to it and try to encourage more girls to come out, because I'm more heavily concentrating on the guys. And I coached the girls. It wasn't that I was ignoring them or anything, but anyway, I just couldn't get it out. But so he hired Mr. McClintock, was our first separate coach for women's cross country. And I don't know how many years he coached, maybe 2 or 3. But then he didn't seem to get that many more people out either, so it all came back to me. And after we started building some success, and we didn't have any problem getting ladies out. We'd have somewhere between 15 and 20 girls out for cross country every year, and that was a good number. But so cross country and track, not so much. All you need was one more coach. And like I say, I primarily, there were other coaches out here, but Coach McClintock and I were the 2 primary coaches for a number of years, and we didn't really coach. He was the official girls coach, but we coached by event. And so that means we were co-coaches. And if he, Coach McClintock, if he had the sprinters and hurdlers and jumpers, then he would coach men and women. And I had whoever, distance runners. We had a third coach usually, would have the weights. And so we coached by event, so it wasn't a real problem for us. But in some of the sports, it was a real problem. And primarily basketball, it was a problem. Of course, tennis, they had to split. They used to have the tennis teams at the same time of the year, and then they had to split that because there weren't the facilities for them. And every time, and you could say this for anything. Anytime you add sports, you're putting a strain on the facilities and the finances. And just like when I say finances, well, before Title IX, we had, I'm not mistaken, we had women's swimming and women's tennis, and that was it. Okay, that was the only varsity sports. Of course, now they had GAA play days, which I thought was kind of, it was like a PE thing on Saturdays. And I think in those days too, the cheerleading and all that was more important. I shouldn't say more important, but there were more girls in that then than now, because that was the other thing they had going on, was cheerleading and songs and flags. And I know Miss Maury all those years did a great job with the flag team here. But when sports came along, you have to have more transportation. You have to have more uniforms. You have to hire another coach. You have to have facilities. So it just put a strain on everything, and they didn't really allocate more funds. You just had to, instead of splitting it up 15 ways, you had to split it up 30 ways. And I think they gave us some startup money as I look back on it. I'm sure they had to, when I say they, the district and the state probably gave money for funds to get those programs started. But then after that, it became up to you to sustain it. So that was the main thing. It just strained facilities, finances, that type. So, but it was a good thing for women.
Yeah.
Can I tell you one quick story?
Yes.
Coached track all those years, right? And never thought a girl could be a pole vaulter. And I was kind of a pole vault coach. I was a pole vault coach. I became fairly decent at it. And I swore, if they ever open up the pole vault to girls, I will refuse to coach it, because they just can't do it. They just don't have the upper body strength to be successful. Well, that lasted until I got my first girl pole vaulter who could make about 7'6". And I coached them just as hard as I did everyone else. I said I would never coach them, but it only takes you to get that first good athlete, and then you become sold on the idea, yeah, girls can do this too. They're pretty good at it. So that's how that's how coaches change too. You never say never.
Okay. What were the traits of a Ted Oliver coach team?
Oh well, I can't say that the traits always held true, but I think the teams that I had, I think they were always good sports. I tried to coach that idea that win or lose, we want to do it with sportsmanship. I think they were always prepared. We worked very hard in practice, and that's not to say every kid did every bit of every workout, and sometimes we might have a kid go who wasn't prepared. But generally the trait of the team was they were prepared, they were organized. When we went to a meet, they knew exactly when they were going to compete. They knew exactly what they were going to do. And I'm speaking primarily, I guess, of track, because like I say, there's 15 or 16 different venues in track. In cross country, you got, okay, the frost soft runs first, then the JVs, but they were always organized. They knew when to be at the line. They knew what to do. They knew how to warm up. We had some great captains over the years, always elected captains in cross country who was responsible for their group. The frost soft had a captain, the varsity had a captain. In track, the event guys, the leaders had a captain. So that's it. We were organized, we were well prepared, they were sportsmen. And they all, I would like to think they all competed as hard as they could. And in fact, I've had kids, as Coach Contreras can vouch, who on any particular event or given day, they may not do as well as you think they would do, but I don't think I've ever had a kid who went out there who intentionally didn't do his best. Sometimes it just comes up a little short, they have a bad day or something, but anyway, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. Can you share with us the rally where you performed with Buck Owens?
Yeah, sure. It's a real good memory. Okay, as I said, Coach Permenter and Coach Zabalka, they were real characters, and we were the three of us. We were going to do in the rally. We were going to do a parody of a Buck Owens song, and the song we decided we would do would be "My Heart Skips a Beat," and we were all decked out in like, I don't know, a bit. And I'm from Oklahoma, so I can use this term. We looked like three Okies up there, with jeans, overalls, and had some little phony guitars and all that. So bottom line is, during the discussion, I told Coach Permenter, we should do Streets of Bakersfield, not My Heart Skips a Beat. No, we're going to do My Heart Skips a Beat. Okay, we'll do My Heart Skips a Beat. So we're up there. We get up there on the stage in the gym, and there's lights in our eyes, and the kids are all out here in front, and man, we're ripping it up. My heart skips a beat. And Coach Zabalka, and all of a sudden, the kids just go crazy. They're going, and I'm thinking, man, I'm in the wrong profession. I think we should take our act and go on the road. And all of a sudden, I look around, and there's Buck Owens walked up behind us. Like, that's why the kids were going crazy. Not because of our little ignorant act, but because Buck Owens is on the stage behind us in his big coat and all that. And you got to realize, he had two sons go to school here. Buddy went to school here, and then Jackie, stepson of Buck's, played football for Ned. So that was a connection. And Arlene Kendall, who was in charge of the she had arranged for Buck to make this appearance. And Buck, I give Buck a lot of credit for, coming out to a rally like this, even though he knew Ned through football. And so he comes up, they're going crazy, and Buck didn't know Steve and I, but he knew Ned, so we kind of we stepped off the stage, and Buck calls Ned, come here, Ned, let's do a song together. And if you know Coach Permenter, he has never been intimidated in his life, I don't think. And he says, oh yeah, we'll do a song. What do you want to do? And Buck says, let's do Streets of Bakersfield. Coach Permenter doesn't know Streets of Bakersfield, because I told him we should learn Streets of Bakersfield. No, they didn't do it. And Buck, he did it twice. He did it once with Ringo Starr, and he did it once with Dwight Yoakam. And Buck says, which version do you want to do? And Ned says, oh, he doesn't know the song. He says, whatever you want to do. Okay. So Buck starts singing Streets of Bakersfield. Ned's kind of stumbling along trying to follow him. I hit Coach Zabalka. I said, Coach, this is our chance to perform with Buck Owens. I know this song. Come on, let's get out there. So we walked back out there, and I knew the song. So I got to sing the song, Ned kind of followed along, but that was our, and there's a letter that's still posted down at the Crystal Palace, thanking the Foothill faculty for having Buck and treating him so nice. If you ever get into the Crystal Palace, look at that letter. But yeah, it's primarily because Coach Permenter, but I tagged along. I took my advantage. So my claim to fame in country music, other than singing with my wife sometimes, is I got to sing Streets of Bakersfield with Buck Owens. But I didn't quit my day job.
Did you teach any other subjects besides PE?
I did. I taught, as I say, I kind of got a little bit tired of PE. And, well, I taught health in conjunction with PE. So that's, you know, in those days, that was a pull-out section for physical education. You'd teach 6 weeks or 9 weeks of health in addition to your PE. That was the PE for that period of time. Then I also taught biology for 4 or 5 years. I'd teach a couple of sections of biology. I'd teach the basic biology. I had a biology minor in college, and I kind of enjoyed getting out of the classroom a few periods a day. In fact, I would teach first and second. I think one time I taught as many as 3 periods, and I'd do it early in the morning. Then I'd go over and change clothes, then I'd be ready for PE and coaching later. Mr. Robinson at one point, and I was getting on toward like the end of my 25 years of teaching, and he suggested, he was our AD then, Mr. Robinson, and he suggested, would you like to do biology full time? No, I don't think so. I'm perfect right here. 1 or 2 sections of biology, and then about the PE will be fine. So anyway, yeah, I taught biology pretty much. Okay.
Can you share your memories of the Kiss a Pig event from 1980?
Yeah, Kiss a Pig. Well, I think the Kiss a Pig was a fundraiser for something. I don't know exactly what it was, but it really became quite a phenomenon. And we had a lot of coverage from the local papers and local television stations, and I think we even actually got a mention on national TV a couple of times for the Kiss a Pig. And I think, you know, other people have done it since. We might have been one of the first ones, and I don't know who got the idea to do it. But Miss Graves, she was Queen Piggy, and Mr. Slagle, he was the King Pig, and it was, the whole school got involved. I mean, it was amazing, and we had all these cute little pigs, you know, little piglets, and if you raised so much money, the coaches and teachers would kiss this little pig, you know. They were cute little pink piggies. So it was a lot of fun. But the main thing I remember, and I probably don't know if you can edit this, Mr. Reese might not want this known, but Mr. Reese was, who is now the principal at Bakersfield High. He had been an athlete, good athlete at Foothill, and he had come back here to teach. And he was teaching, I don't know, government or history or something at that time. And I think he was doing coaching basketball also. So he started teaching here at Foothill, which was his alma mater. Anyway, he had a senior section, and he went around the gym saying, if you seniors will raise, I don't know how much it was, 100, 200, 300, I don't know, a certain amount of money. If you will raise that amount of money before this is over, I will French kiss a pig. And the seniors raised that amount of money. And they did not give him a little pink pig. They brought, this big hog was out there. And I don't know how much French kissing got done, but Mr. Reese held true to his promise. He tried his best to accomplish what he said he would do. But you know, the Kiss a Pig and the Santa and the reindeer with Coach Permenter as Santa and Mr. Carlotti and myself, we were reindeer. Those are the stuff, that's the stuff that we did all the time in those days. And that's just that's what I'm saying about the faculty. They were great. They all took part. They all supported it. It was amazing. But the Kiss a Pig was quite an event. It went on for like about 2 weeks and culminated with all the big rally in the gym. And anyway, cute little piggies, everybody kissing pigs. So anyway, does that answer your question?
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Our last question of the day is, do you have anything to add or share that we have not talked about?
Anything to add or share that you have not talked about?
Any memories, any?
Well, I told you that was a thrill coaching my sons, which is good. And I'm sure I'll forget something that I should say. Of course, the good athletes that I had, the good students that I've had. I think what I would say is that Foothill was a great school in those days, and we had a great faculty, and I think probably it's still true. I think Foothill is still a great school. I think a lot of people in our community don't realize just how good Foothill is. I walked across campus today, and I said when I started, everything was new and fresh. Well, the campus looks great. There's a lot of fresh paint, a lot of stuff been done to the school that's made it quite an attractive school. They still have a great faculty. I still remember a few of the people are still here that I was here, and they're still a great faculty, and I think it's a really good school. And my basic philosophy, I guess, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with Foothill High, you can't limit a school as to what happens in one particular area. Okay, and if the school has a perception that's not very good because one thing is not very good, then that kind of sticks to the whole school. And that's not true, There may be a few things here at Foothill right now that doesn't get the recognition and success that it had a few years back, but I think it'll come back and they will have success again. But regardless of the few things that might not be right here, there's so many things that are right and so much good stuff going on. But my basic philosophy, and I will shut up after this, is that this is the Kern High School District. And one school may have a different clientele from a different section of town than here. But if a young person wants to get an education, they can come to Foothill High School and get a great education. Now, if someone wants to come here and be a troublemaker and mess up and start his life off on the wrong foot, they can do that too. But that can happen at any school. So the school is there for you, including Foothill High School and every school in this district. And if you want to come and get an education and have a positive experience, it can be done at any of the schools in the Kern High School District, and especially at Foothill High School.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you and having you with us.
Thank you.
And we're so happy that you are
Thank
our
you.
cross-country coach.
Thank you.
And we brought you a gift.
And could I add one last thing?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I'm really happy that Coach Contreras is coaching cross country and track, as well as Adam Setzer, who's still in the district. So it's really good to see the athletes that you've coached go on and stay in education and kind of follow in the footsteps. But I would relate it especially here because Coach Contreras is here. But Jaime Orozco was down at Sierra, probably still there, right? Yeah. So, there are kids that I've coached have gone on and been successful, and that's really good. That's a thrill for me as well.
Well, we have a gift for you.
Okay.
It is a Foothill High School.
No money? I told you I'm on a fixed income.
It's worth a lot. It's
Oh,
a
it is
Foothill
worth a
High
lot.
School
Oh my gosh.
History Club t-shirt.
All right.
So it's just for you.
Well, thank you so much to you and Coach Carlotti. I will wear it with pride. Trust me.
Thank you.
Okay.